Jersey natives known as Panthera. You're taking the ball away for Panthera. A nice play there by Mancini. As I said, is likely the best player on the Montclair, New Jersey squad. You see her there wearing number 13. Very tall girl. She's pulling up her sock right now. Bunch of headers. Is this going to be? No. I thought we might see 3 straight headers right there, but we did not. Center of the field action. Trying to clear it out here. And that is Keely Adams, one of the defenders, trying to set up the offense. She gets it ahead to Grace Heenan, one of the strikers, playing the center of the field right now. And this ball, a little bit late getting to it there, was number 31. I think that's 31. Or it's actually Michaela Martin, I believe. Or no, I am incorrect there. It is a 31. It's Sydney Ewing. I'm sorry, Sydney Ewing. The roster I've been given is alphabetical and not numerical, and hence sometimes it takes a bit of time to look it up. It is Michaela Martin wearing number 34 on the blue-clad Pink Panthers of Kansas City. But when you think about it, the Kansas City Royals wearing blue, so it's somewhat appropriate for the Pink Panthers to be wearing blue. Throwing in. Center of the field. And here is the aforementioned Ewing. Ewing was trying to get possession right there. That is Victoria Belcourt, number 44. And here comes for Montclair, New Jersey. There's Mancini trying to take the ball away. And the ball goes out of bounds. Mancini getting it to Pryor, or excuse me, this is Pryor, I'm sorry, Lily Pryor. And the ball taken away from her, and now here comes Kansas City. This is Clanky, Haley Clanky, and she's being defended very well by Brianna Crowley. The ball will go out of bounds. A scoreless tie in the early going. 2 16-and-under teams in the select tournament. Now, to date, in the previous 2 games, I'd like to point out that we saw some scouts from Dartmouth, Notre Dame, as well as Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Mancini struck down. We also saw from Western Kentucky and Vanderbilt. Try to get a look at some of the jerseys here. We have a man wearing the gear of the University of Delaware Blue Hens. And it isn't Rich Gannon, just checking out the action. Now Montclair, New Jersey, trying to move the ball, if you will. Mancini and Pryor, but being well defended there by number 23, Margaret Piggott. And Kansas City retains possession again, but wait, they lose it again, and now it is Chloe Baker with the number 10 in possession. Number 9 is Perhusky, Emma Perhusky for Montclair. Grace Heenan getting possession, and now this is number 23, Piggott. Piggott being chased into the corner by Shannon Almenara. And now the setup to the center of the field. But instead, it could be a quick turnout, and they're trying to find someone to set up a play with, but they can't set it up properly for Pryor, who can't get to the ball before it goes out of bounds. Thought for a minute that they might try to lead the rush there, with only 2 defenders in the rest of the field there, but the feeling was that it was too far to go for such a breakaway attempt. Falling down, a whistle blows. The player down for Kansas City is Michaela Martin, but although she is holding her forearm, it appears that she is okay, walking it off and not being asked to come out of the game. And she may have a bruise or so eventually, but she seems to be carrying around her left wrist a little bit gingerly, but is not coming out of the game. Pryor for Montclair, New Jersey. And the Panthera having a little bit of trouble getting it out of their own center. But this is Mancini kicking it back. A long attempt up front. And the kick goes out of bounds. No score here. Montclair, New Jersey versus Kansas City, Missouri. Here, 16 and under. We are almost 12 minutes into the first half of action. The weather has warmed up a bit here. Earlier today, we started playing soccer at 8 a.m. and driving to the event, it was about, as the clearing pass, it is caught by the goalie. And that was Riley Keenan. Riley Keenan with the save for Montclair, New Jersey. And now Victoria Belcourt takes it over to the other side of the field. And we will have a throw-in, and it appears a substitution as well for Kansas City is coming in. I'm trying to see where we have here the players coming in and coming out, and I'm looking for number 6 on my roster, and I can't find one, which is what I saw. So there is a substitution, and I will call that player's name when she gets the ball. Yesterday, or in the previous game, stoppage of play is called here by Lindsay McNamara. Assistant referee today is Riley Schilling. Senior assistant ref is Corey Wool. And the fourth official, Derek Ambrosis. To the center of the field. Number 33 for Kansas City is Carson Overin. Now KC is without Molly Voigt. Voigt has a torn ACL. Their roster a little short. New Jersey, though, is without 3 players. Sophie Conklin, Braylon Cusano, and Nora Giordano, all out with injury for today's game. A showcase game. I mentioned that there is a scout from Delaware here watching the action as the ball goes out of bounds. throwing the ball in at this point will be Shannon Almenara. But Kansas City retains possession, and it is Clanky, one of the strikers. She makes a move. Can she get to the net? No, she cannot. Nice kicking it away right there by number 20, Brianna Crowley. And we will see some substitutions now for the ladies from Montclair, New Jersey, as Ashley Hammond has cleared his bench and said that they should start warming up. So this corner kick will be attempted by Kansas City's and it is a number 6, and I do not have a number 6 on my roster. And I do apologize. I will have to find out as soon as possible who this player is. But right now, she is behind the play, as it is Belcourt who's trying to take it up. This is Mancini. Mancini led her teammate, and that is Oviedo, a bit too much. Alyssa Oviedo, born the same day as Roberto Clemente, August 18th, just, some 66 years afterwards on the year 2000. Starting from the back goes Montclair. So Belcourt and her teammate Shannon Almenara could not keep possession, and here comes Kansas City. No score here in the first half. We are 17 minutes into the first half, unofficially. We do have a scoreboard here, but it is just we're unable to read it from the angle that we have and from the lighting on the scoreboard. And neither team has really been able to get in this early going as we approach the quarter-way mark of the game, a really serious scoring opportunity. You can see that Mancini has a lot of skills for Montclair, New Jersey, but just hasn't been able to break open. Kansas City has had some possession time, but an outstanding, of a 5-man defensive unit. When you go with the 4-1-4-1, that extra player can be so difficult, that extra midfielder who's sort of captaining the midfield, if you will, and the kick goes out of bounds. But it can be very difficult sometimes to break that wall. Of course, there is the situation where you may be giving up offense that way, depending on your point of view. It's Adams. But again, so often it seems like the ball has been held not so much by the midfield, but by the defenders today. As is the case here, although now coming in, and a shot and an attempt, a goal scored there by Kansas City. Give credit to the Pink Panthers, to Haley Clanky. Now, Clanky had a goal in the 3-3 tie Kansas City enjoyed with the LA Galaxy, but the Pink Panthers have gone on top here. Basically halfway through the first half, I have the, let's see here, the unofficial time at the 19 minutes in, let's say. But it's 1-0 Kansas City. A Haley Clanky goal. She was able to slip past the defenders and really the opposing netminder, and that was Riley Keenan, just didn't really have a chance on that. So now what can Montclair, New Jersey do to get back into the game and to pressure Afton Fenewald, who is the keeper for the Pink Panthers, who are wearing blue? Well, if you look at the shoes of number 23, Margaret Piggott, there's some pink stripes on it, so officially the warm-ups of the Pink Panthers are pink. Trying to keep the ball in bounds is Montclair, New Jersey, to set something up. But the defense, as the ball is kicked out of bounds by Kansas City's Carson Overend, very tough, and they just can't seem in the early going of this game, Montclair, to get possession deep. They can get possession in the Kansas City side, which is where it is right now, but they just can't get anything further. We're going to have a substitution. For Montclair, Panthera is what they call themselves, and they are trailing 1-0. They just have recently had a Haley Clanky goal. A long shot, but the save being made there by Keenan. The shot taken by Cassidy Newsom. About, let's say, 25 yards out. Header. And the possession will go here to Kansas City on the ball. Ashley Hammond not agreeing with the call of Lindsay McNamara, but it's Lindsay's decision, and she has no bias. We're going to have 2 substitutions for both teams here in the very short period of time. This kick will be handled by Haley Clanky, who has the only goal of the game. Her long shot is covered up at the goalie, Riley Keenan. And it is 1-0 here as the sun is warming us and the temperatures go into the 50-degree range. And we are 23 minutes into, unofficially, the first half of action. And again, the ball does go into Kansas City territory, but quite simply, nobody deep for Montclair, New Jersey. And tripping will be the call here as Keely Adams fell down. Victim of Lily Pryor. Now we're going to see mass substitutions here for Montclair. And I couldn't possibly get all of these, but here we're going to try. Madison Carlo coming in. So does Alyssa Oviedo, who's already in the game. A newcomer here with a somewhat tight ponytail, Danielle Golden, number 27. And I mentioned you can kind of see that. We had a team from Pennsylvania, and notice that how many times you're going to get a tightly wound ponytail like you wear with Golden, and it's more than just for appearance sakes. Instead of the loose tying back of the long hair on some of these girls, to me, a lot of times the tight ponytail, and that's, I think, a little bit more popular in the Northeast and other parts. And here we have a breakaway. Let's talk about that before the ponytails. We set this up, and an attempt right there by number 26 to set up a goal That is Haley Clanky, who almost had a breakaway and attempt at her second goal of the game. Kansas City leads it 1-0. However, she was unable to get an effective clearing pass as her teammates could not help her out with an assist. And so Montclair with the ball now as they are trying to get deep penetration for the first time today. Scoring opportunity, but Montclair's defense was able to basically come to the aid of goalie Riley Keenan, and we must say Haley Clanky has really shown some nice skills today with a goal and one breakaway attempt. To the center, but again, Montclair, well, this might be their first real attempt, but the shot taken there, and she retains possession by Christine Kreiter, was blocked. Another shot blocked by the defense of Kansas City, and finally a long shot that is off the mark from Alyssa Avito. Afton Fenawal will be kicking this ball deep for the Pink Panthers, wearing blue. She wears light blue, and her other teammates wear dark blue. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Set it up in the center of the field. We're 26 minutes into the first half, 40-minute halves here, and this is golden. I was talking about the ponytail. I was getting into a story before the circumstance came about, or a scoring opportunity was coming up, but I wasn't necessarily just talking about hairstyles for the heck of it as a whistle is blown, but consider here, when you have the tight ponytail like Golden does, a lot of times I think that your hair is going to be less likely to, say, break loose, get in your eyes, that sort of thing on possible headers and such. But what it also does is you've got that thump, thump, thump going on your back with the tight ponytail, the braided ponytail, if you will. Now in this case, you can also see here, Margaret Piggott has something of a tight ponytail for Kansas City, but she uses a headband to try to keep it from going thump, thump, thump on her back and being a distraction. It's something to think about. We're going to have a substitution, and sure enough, Piggott, well, excuse me, not Piggott, but coming into the game is Mackenzie Billings. The kick knocked away and out of bounds. Corner kick will be taken here. And they head it in. And it goes in! Yes, it is! With an assist going from Autumn Ferguson, who made the corner kick, and she is going to be playing soccer at Missouri, Kansas City. Kansas City is just taking a 2-0 advantage, and I didn't quite catch who had the goal there, and so forgive me for this, but I'm going to say, do we have a clarification on the goal? It is 2-0 Kansas City, and I will try to get the clarification of the goal as soon as possible on who that went in off of. Kicking it away. And again, KC is really giving the pressure. They've really been able to keep their opponents from getting the ball deep throughout this period. There have been no shots on goal to this point. But Autumn Ferguson, yes, the only college commit so far in this game, and there is only one on the rosters, and she is going to Missouri, Kansas City, but she gets the assist on the second goal with her corner kick. And now we have a throw in. There's no somersault like you might see sometimes in boys soccer, but nevertheless, the ladies don't want to show off. A 2-0 lead for the Pink Panthers wearing blue over Panthera, which can be mighty confusing. We are 3/4 of the way through the first half. A 2-0 lead for the blue team from KC. Well, of course, this is on the internet, and so I can remember as a young boy wanting to listen to baseball games from all over the East, thinking it was just incredible that I could do so at night on my AM dial. As this corner kick is knocked away by the defense, but there's still a chance here as it is over in, but covered up by Riley, who'll kick it away. It should be mentioned that we are told, some viewers from Colchester, England, which is the hometown of Ashley Hammond. I'd like to say hello to the SDFC Panthera's head coach's sisters, Sadie and Tansy, listening in, and of course Ashley Hammond's parents, Hazel and Mick. Now here comes New Jersey with one of their best scoring opportunities of the day. They trail 2-0. Victoria Belcourt. Belcourt wearing 44, centering it, but unable to break the wall. Here come the Pink Panthers. A long kick, chase for the ball, and it's possession here, but deep in their own territory by Crowley, and the ball goes out of bounds. And so it'll be thrown in by the ladies from Missouri again. Another substitution here. New Jersey's Lila Esposito comes in. Coming out, Alyssa Oviedo. I have this as Oviedo now. I'm sorry. Alyssa Oviedo has been taken out of the game in favor of Esposito. But right now, Belcourt has possession, but giving it to her teammate who loses possession. And now, the gold-clad Montclair, New Jersey natives with possession at the center of the field. Advancing it ahead, but in the corner, down by a couple of goals. A whistle blows, and they can penetrate no further. There has not been yet a shot on goal on Afton Fenawal, the Kansas City goalie. Blue team, known as the Pink Panthers, they are from Kansas City, and Montclair, New Jersey is where the canary yellow-clad Panthera team is calling home. And here might be an opportunity coming out of the net. The shot is long, and it is true for Cassidy Newsome And Kansas City's Pink Panthers have a 3-0 lead. Well, Newsom on a breakaway trying to come out and meet it was Keenan. But as soon as Newsom was able to get past her, well, you knew then that here late in the first half, there was going to be nothing doing. I've got 5 minutes unofficially left in the first half, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Pink Panthers, wearing blue, trying to get the entire gender color scheme. It should be mentioned here, I see, as President, there is a bit of pink on the front of the jersey for the ladies from Kansas City. And obviously, as I mentioned before, I mean, you're talking about the home of the Kansas City Royals. You think Kansas City, kind of think blue. Falling waters at Ewing Kauffman Stadium and such. Battle for the ball and trying to advance it. Really, there, Montclair, New Jersey, just looking for their first shot on goal so far. And falling down, but it is called an incidental contact. It's Belcourt. No more possession here. Golden. Trying to set something up, a clearing kick to the center. But the Pink Panthers are there again as we're in our final 5 minutes of regulation time here in the first half. It's Newsom who has the third goal of the game. Recently scored. A whistle blows and possession will go to Kansas City. Montclair takes possession again. They really, don't mean to sound like a broken record, but the defense of Kansas City is just so strong. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the first half. Down the left wing. Ball goes out of bounds, and Panthera will throw it in. There are the yellow-clad ladies. Throwing it up front, but just nobody there, but trying desperately to get to the ball was the recent addition, Esposito. Ball goes back to the center. And down the left wing, here comes Kansas City in the closing minutes of the first half. 3-0. The Pink Panthers with the advantage. They're the team in blue. Skies are perfect here, not a cloud in them. It is now 51 degrees, which seems to be perfect weather for the endeavor of playing soccer right now. Broken up. Fine play there by Montclair's, for lack of a stopper, if you will. That's Carlo, Madison Carlo. One last attempt maybe for Kansas City, but it's broken up there by Golden. But here, taking the ball away quickly, and Kansas City has been so adept at that. that was Haley Clanky who had the first goal of the game. It's 3-0 Pink Panthers. They're the team in blue, and they're the ones from Missouri. We are told 1 minute remains in the half. I have unofficially 6 seconds left, so Kansas City with possession. And throwing the ball in here is the lady with the Warren uniform, Sydney Ewing. She gets it in. Piggott, who should try to get it to, and so now there'll be one last attempt of a rush here in this half by New Jersey, trailing 3-0. And right there you saw Belcourt with a nice attempt trying to take it coast to coast, but the shot there is too high. And that is the end of the first half. Our score, the Pink Panthers, FCKC Pink Panthers Elite from, well, officially Lee Summit, Missouri, 3, and Ashley Hammond's SDFC Panthera team from Montclair, New Jersey, 0. Now I have 2 of the goals so far. The first goal that was slipped past Riley Keenan belonged to Haley Clanky, and that was her second goal of this showcase tournament. I got the assist on the first goal, but I did not have who had the header. I will get that in the second half for Autumn Ferguson, and she is going to Missouri, Kansas City. And then finally, the third goal was scored by Cassidy Newsom. So it is a 3-0 lead for the Pink Panthers, and we're going to break for halftime for about 10 minutes. We're happy you could join us here on the Turbo Sports Network. Welcome back to the second half of this 2015 Girls U.S. Youth Soccer National League Series. Well, today, Kansas City's FCKC Pink Panthers Elite leads Montclair, New Jersey's SDFC Panthera girls 16 and under team, but a lead score of 3-0. I want to give a couple of clarifications. First of all, I'd been saying for Kansas City a number six, and it wasn't in our roster, but that is Alexis Mutzbauer, who is listed on the roster as number 7, but is wearing number 6 today. And also, congratulations go to Cassidy Newsome, who you saw had the breakaway goal, but also had the header. And now we have another breakaway, so let's get to this. As being stopped of a goal is Haley Clanky, and she is prevented from scoring her second goal as Victoria Wozniak goes in net for the second half for Montclair, New Jersey's Panthera team. So it's a 3-0 advantage right now for Kansas City over New Jersey. New Jersey just has not been able to penetrate very deeply at all in this game. They have yet to get a shot on goal, and frankly, listening to some of the halftime speech and strategy that Tim Richardson was giving his team, he was basically telling them, as you may see right now, well, here we go. Don't be afraid to take the ball back, but it may be backfiring here because New Jersey now has deep penetration. They're trying to set up Mancini. Mancini, the striker, in this formation. She's wearing number 13 and is being shadowed on your screen by Margaret Piggott. But Mancini with a size advantage, and now a deep shot, but it is covered up by the goaltender, and that is Afton Fenewald. Still, Montclair keeps possession, and will try to cut into this 3-0 deficit. Remember this about this game, although certainly all the players want to win, it is a showcase tournament, and it is here for scouts. So therefore, the storylines are not necessarily so much what team wins and what team loses, but rather who does what and who does well. So even if somebody doesn't score a strong kick, taking the ball from one side of the field to the other, continued speed after playing 80 minutes of action, this sort of thing can give basically a team or a player perhaps some attention in front of a scout's eyes. Now there are recruiters here and coaches watching this game from Delaware as well as Illinois State, Ohio, and Dayton. 3 straight headers at midfield. Kansas City in blue going from left to right. They call themselves the Pink Panthers, but now the ball is stolen away, and this is one of the better players, Victoria Belcourt, stealing the ball away, one of the better players of the game as well as for New Jersey, certainly. Time is being kept on the field. We do have a scoreboard, but it is unreadable. I don't know what to tell you other than that. 3-0 Pink Panthers wearing blue. They have the ball. And coming up right wing and trying to center a pass, but nobody there. That was Macy Hekadon. Keeping the ball in. Nice play right there by Montclair, New Jersey. And the ball goes out of bounds, so keeping possession. That is Mancini, and I have joked, who would have thought that a team named the Pink Panthers would be facing Mancini and not having her on the team. Excuse me, that is not Mancini. This is Mancini. The player who kept the ball in bounds that I was so impressed with is Chloe Baker. Coming out of the net here, this is Fenewald, the goalie. As Kansas City trying to get the ball in possession. It goes out of bounds. Throwing it in and then a header. And so now it's Montclair ball. Throwing it in that situation was Macy Hecadon. And now her fellow counterpart wearing number 11, Carrie McGuire, throws it in. So two number 11s throwing the ball in at almost the same part of the field. Centering pass. Can they get it in? Well, no, this is Mancini, but her shot is off the mark. But that may have been the best scoring opportunity that Montclair, New Jersey's Panthera team has had all day. So the New Jerseyans against the Missourians. Or is it Missourites? People from Missouri will also suffice. As here's Mancini, and a whistle blows. Nice defense preventing a shot right there from number 23, Margaret Piggott. But now, finally, two opportunities, and you can see the striker, Mancini, finally getting opportunities. She had a hat trick in the first game of this tournament, 3 goals, and has shown some skills, but has been shadowed well today. We're in the afternoon here. It's the 1 o'clock hour here in the Eastern Time Zone. We know people are watching in from all over the world on their internet screens. And we're glad you're with us here on the Turbo Sports Network. And some showcase soccer. We'd like to, obviously, some college coaches watching in, and we'd like to welcome them as well. And here she is, maybe on a breakaway. Can she go the whole way? That is number 44, Victoria Belcourt, but no, she is stepped up by the Kansas City defense. Keeping the ball in. But it will go out of bounds. So sometimes difficult to center a pass from that angle. Here's an opportunity. They're trying to get it to Mancini, but again, Fenewald is there to cover it up before Mancini can really get a strong shot off. So Fenewald will kick off here, or shall I say punt it away. Here's Adams. Adams had defender, had her, was on the ball earlier. And we also know that people are watching in from all over the world. And there are 4 people right now who may be able to hear somebody that they dearly love encouraging his team. That would be Sadie and Tansy, the brothers of Ashley Hammond, and his parents Hazel and Mick, listening in from Colchester, England. And the thing about the Americans is often that they can determine, obviously, what a British accent is, but sometimes whether it's from Newcastle or Yorkshire or London, well, it's very distinct, but you have to know England to kind of be able to pick it out. You go to Newcastle, and people, if you travel abroad, will always ask you, are you from Scotland? And they don't really like that a lot, I think. Why don't you ask me if I carry coals? You know, no, I don't know. Let's go back to the action where Mancini is trying to weave a path here, and a player falls down for Kansas City. It will result in a free kick for New Jersey, and taking the kick will be Lily Pryor. Lily Pryor will try to try to be able to set something up here, a play, and score their first goal off of Afton Fenelwald. It is 3-0, the Pink Panthers wearing blue. Long kick here, and it sails over the net. We're a little more than 8 minutes into the second half of the game. This is the third game that I will be bringing you as Fenelwald will kick off. New Jersey maintains possession, however. And a collision, and a whistle blows, and a player is down. Well, we've been fortunate. There haven't been many injuries so far, but Lee Ungerleiter right there, and I think that she banged her head with an opposing player. She is holding her head, and I think it's just sort of skulls collide. She does not appear to be seriously injured. But yeah, the ball is inflated. The skull is not. Substitution. And Ungerleiter will be taken out while she can recover. And so coming into the game will be Madison Carlo. You may also see a substitution for Kansas City as Carson Overin is coming in. And let's see who comes out. Unless I missed something, and Overin was just merely there to give instruction from her coach, Tim Richardson. And that might be what that is, actually, during the stoppage of play. So it is Carlo who gives the card. To Carly Whirl, or Corey Whirl. And we'll have the kickoff, and it is won actually by the Kansas City squad. But the ball goes out of bounds, and so it's 3-0 in favor of Kansas City. They're the team wearing blue. They go by the Pink Panthers. They want to cover all the gender colors. Got pink and blue. The Canary Yellow team is known as Panthera, and they are from Montclair, New Jersey. Won their first game. That kick was shanked by Lily Pryor. Almost seemed to be an attempt that went off the side of the toe, if you will. Just did not go where she wanted. And now wisely taking some time, although we're not really at that point of the game. Afton Fenelwald, she will kick off and is taking her time to do so. Center of the field action in a crowd. Carlo is trying to break it out of the crowd, but the flag goes up, and possession will go once again to Kansas City. Deep corner kick here. And the ball goes out of bounds, but still retaining possession will be the Pink Panthers. There's Adams. And again, you see here where during halftime I heard Tim Richards say, don't be afraid to move the ball backwards, and that's exactly what Kansas City did here. These ladies are 16 and under. There have been coaches from at least 4 different schools, and I have decided to wear a Clemson Tigers baseball cap to keep the sun out of my eyes, and those in America will know, of course, that the Clemson Tigers will be playing the North Carolina Tar Heels for the championship of the Atlantic Coast Conference in American football tomorrow, and the Clemson Tigers are the #1 ranked team in the country. As a boy who grew up watching the Danny Ford show, well, you want to wear your Clemson cap, obviously, under circumstances such as this. Unfortunately, it seems as if I have been mistaken a few times for being a coach from Clemson. And again, we see the circumstance of Kansas City perhaps comfortable to play in something of a style in which they will hold possession. We're going to see some substitutions. Coming in will be Daniela LeBeau for the Panthera, SDFC Panthera from Montclair, New Jersey. And Kansas City, we'll see Alexis Mutzbauer. Mutzbauer is the player awarded number 6 that I told you about before, who is listed as number 7 on the roster. Now coming out, Chloe Baker for Panthera, and the Pink Panthers will be removing Katie Leach. Leach is a real Missouri name. I'm reminded of Rick Leach. And here we have an attempt coming in deep, but Mancini is covered by 2 defenders and cannot get a shot away. Great defense there by the Pink Panthers. This kick going towards me. Out of bounds, and they give it to New Jersey. Throwing it in. This McGuire, Carrie McGuire. And however, Kansas City gets the ball. McGuire couldn't stop it, and here now, let's see how far the Pink Panthers can advance the rush. It was Mutzbauer there who was able to find one of her teammates with her pass when the ball seemed to be covered or well defended by Kansas City. And there you see Mancini colliding, I believe, with Adams of the Pink Panthers. And so, yes, Adams, that collision will result in possession for Montclair, New Jersey. 3-0, Kansas City leads. Behind 2 Cassidy Newsom goals. A header for the second goal, and for the third she had a breakaway. The other goal today was scored by Haley Clanky. We're approaching the midway point of the second half. Not quite there yet. And Fenewald covers up. The goalkeeper for Kansas City's Pink Panthers. You see there an aggressive nature by Montclair, New Jersey. They're down 3-0, and they're trying to do everything they can to get back into the game. But in a game like this, although you play to win, and here comes coming from the back and kicking it away, Again, now we're seeing much better pressure in the second half than we did in the first half from Montclair, New Jersey. In that case, almost sneaking through the back door was Victoria Belcourt to get a shot off. However, Fenewald was able to kick it away and saw the play develop. So she was able to take advantage of the situation, was the goalkeeper, and preserve her shutout. Kick goes out of bounds. We'll have another substitution as Christine Crater will come in for Panthera. Kicking it over into the far side of the field, Macy Hecadon. And now this shot, and oh, it goes off the top of the post. Carson Overend with the shot, trying to give her team a 4-0 advantage. We will have a substitution here as the aforementioned Christine Crater. Perhaps you heard she will be going into play left fullback. And Emma Perhusky will be coming out. Meanwhile, 2 players will be coming in for Kansas City. Cassidy Newsom, who has 2 goals, and Sydney Ewing will be coming in. Coming out will be Margaret Piggott, who's been a nice sweeper today, and Autumn Ferguson, who is the one college commit in this game. She'll be going to Missouri, Kansas City, and she assisted on the second goal of the game, the header that Cassidy Newsom was able to score, make it 2-0. It is currently 3-0. All goals scored in the first half, 2 by Newsom. Taking it back as we're past the halfway point now of the second half. So time now beginning to become a factor, but again, the idea here of the showcase is what can an individual player do? And we have seen some strong individual efforts. We've just seen Montclair, New Jersey face a tremendous defensive team. Kick goes out of bounds. And again, you get the feeling at this point that it's Megan Mancini. They found a way to get her deeper that was not there for the Montclair, New Jersey striker earlier in the game. And sometimes it seems like a player will try to do things all by himself, or herself, as the case may be here. And frankly, when that happens, you have a circumstance oftentimes where you're trying to do too much, and then, well, what I'm just trying to say is that in baseball they used to say you can't hit an 8-run homer. We have a whistle, and possession will now go to Kansas City. It's been a scoreless second half. Introductory goal scored by Hallie Kleinke, her second of the tournament, and then Cassidy Newsom scored 2. And so in this tournament now, there have been 6 goals scored by the Kansas City-based 16 and under Pink Panther elite team. And there have been 2 by Grace Heenan, 2 by Haley Clanky, and now 2 from Cassidy Newsom, wearing number 8. We're past the 23-minute mark of the first half, or second half, excuse me. So only about 17 minutes left in the game. The flag goes up. And although the ball goes in the net, it's a little bit too late. Kicking the ball deep will be Panthera from New Jersey. And they were trying to get the ball there to Alyssa Oviedo, but she was well covered. Still, possession is had, and Belcourt wears number 44 in canary yellow. Trying to set something up. To the center was Kratar, but number 23 in canary yellow could not find a teammate in the center of the field. There wasn't one there. Nice footwork there from Belcourt. And now a shot and a wonderful save there by Ferguson to rob number 3, Madison Carlo, of a goal. It's still 3-0 Kansas City against New Jersey. That is Newsom with the ball and giving it to a teammate. It was Alexis Mutzbauer, number 6, kicking it free. Fenewald. Or excuse me, not Fenewald, but excuse me, Wozniak. Wozniak kicking it free. Wozniak in goal here in the second half for Panthera from Montclair, New Jersey. Time of the essence. You can hear Ashley Hammond wanting his team to push it deeper. Mancini trying to come from behind and steal the ball there, but it was not able. And instead the pass went to a canary yellow clad New Jersey player. Here is Belcourt. Belcourt trying to get it ahead, but there's nobody there, and so Fenewald will be able to cover up. The players do not necessarily seem to be fatigued, so they're all in very good shape right now. Ball kicked out of bounds there by Brianna Crowley. And we'll have a substitution here. Mackenzie Billings will come into the game. Only one L for, is that correct? Yes, only one L for Billings, unlike Billings, Montana. So Billings comes in. And I want to say Alexis Mutzbauer is coming out. Trying to get that number. I recognize the face. And now let me see. It's number 6. So let me go and make a quick check of the field to see if there's a number 6. And I don't believe that there is. So that's Mutzbauer that has come out. Of course, right now it's very difficult to see all the backs of the Kansas City players' numbers. The backs of their, to read their numbers, I should say. Actually, it is not, as I now see Mutzbauer, so is another player who has been removed. And let me see if I can come in and get that. I believe it was Piggott who was removed. Now, Margaret Piggott. But there she is sitting on the bench, I can tell you that. We'll have another substitution coming in. Danielle Golden will be coming out. Or coming in, I'm sorry, coming in. Meanwhile, as a kick is coming up underway, Carrie McGuire has been taken out of the game in favor of Golden. The Golden-clad New Jersey natives are down 3-0 here. And Kansas City is looking for more, but a flag goes up, and so we'll have a stoppage of play. You can hear Ashley Hammond wanting his team to pick up the pace. They're down 3-0, and so chances of coming back becoming increasingly difficult as the game approaches its final 10 minutes. Player down. That's the 2-goal scorer, Cassidy Newsom. As a result, we will have a kick from Kansas City, up 3-0. A potential breakaway was averted there by Kansas City's number 3. That's Megan Freyking. Now the ball deep in the corner, and Kansas City not worried about that with a 3-0 advantage. They kick it out of bounds. Throwing it in now for New Jersey will be Macy Hecadon. But it's Kansas City who briefly has possession before falling down. And that is Newsom. Kick will come. And Newsom seems to be walking gingerly. We will have a substitution coming in. Lil Pryor will be coming out, I believe, if I'm hearing the... Oh, Lily is going in. Okay, thank you. Lily is also wearing number 12, and I have 22 on the roster. So who is 22 on the field who I've been calling Lily Pryor? Lucy. Okay, Luciana Rivera is coming out. And we have 2 number 22s on the roster, so here we go. It is Lily Pryor who is coming in, and Luciana Rivera. The difference between the two, well, Rivera is a little bit taller, maybe about 2 inches, and she has darker hair. So that's the way to tell them apart. We are in the final 10 minutes, and now we have a free kick coming up from Newsom, and it goes in. Listen to me. This isn't exactly goal, is it now? But a hat trick for Newsom. Cassidy Newsom has not only taken over her team's scoring lead in this tournament, but she's given her team a 4-0 advantage with her 3rd goal of the game and the tournament. coming in to the game is Lila Esposito, while Megan Mancini, perhaps the Panthera's top offensive weapon, has come out. And Ashley Hammond was upset with Mancini here with the play that led to Newsom getting the penalty kick, bringing her down as she was shooting, and therefore able to take the 4-0 lead. There's approximately 6 minutes remaining in the game. 4-0 advantage for Kansas City. Let's see if New Jersey can break the shutout being pitched right now by Afton Fenawald. Out of bounds. This will be Hecadon throwing it in. No, check that out. Hecadon will actually be manning the field and maybe receiving the pass from Ewing. As Ewing heaves it in, and it's Newsom, the 3-goal scorer. But she was in a crowd, and so now Kansas City, they would be delighted to have possession in New Jersey's end. The ball goes out of bounds. And Panthera trying to pick up the pace down by 4 goals. Collision. Heenan and Crowley there. Heenan, the Kansas City player. Fewer than 5 minutes remain. We may have some extra time. The penalty kick by Newsom. Her 3rd goal of the game. New Jersey's Kerry McGuire will throw the ball in. She gets it to Esposito, but not much of a scoring opportunity. Of course, Mancini right now not in the game after the Newsom penalty kick that resulted in her 3rd goal and a 4-0 lead for the Pink Panthers wearing blue. Approximately 3 minutes remain in this contest. Just trying to get one more goal against a tough defense to impress one of the scouts that are here. Coaches here from Illinois State, Ohio, Dayton, and Delaware seeing this game. Universities of Ohio is a Mid-American Conference school, the Bobcats, probably the highest ranking, and we'll see here a free kick. This one will be taken by Alyssa Oviedo. excuse me, Oviedo will be taking this kick. Oviedo. And it sails wide left of the net. And the shutout continues. I guess soccer parlance likes to call the score 4-0. A long kickoff coming up here from the goaltender. And I guess soccer parlance likes to call it the goalkeeper. Here once again is Oviedo, but Kansas City's able to clear. We're approaching the end of the game here. Approximately a minute left, maybe some extra time, but it's 4-0 in favor of the Pink Panthers over Panthera. Winning team coming from Kansas City, Missouri. The team not so fortunate is from Montclair, New Jersey. 16 and under, Showcase Soccer live here from Wilson, North Carolina on the Turbo Sports Network. This may take any consideration of New Jersey scoring a goal away as they are taking the ball away, and well, maybe one final rush here. That's Belcourt, and her shot doesn't go out of bounds, but it sails off the goal, and some nice defense right there. A collision. Nothing called as the pass is centered. And here's Oviedo, but really some credit there needs to be given to Kansas City's defender for tying up the ball there. That is Carson Overin, if I have that correct. No, I am incorrect. It is Megan Freyking. Megan Freyking is the player I want to give some credit to for some fine defense there, keeping the ball in the corner and really limiting Montclair from having a scoring opportunity. We are in the closing moments. This is extra time. I am told there are 2+. Or no, that is it. And that is the game. Our final score today. The FCKC Pink Panthers Elite win at 4-0 behind 3 Cassidy Newsom goals. She scored in many different ways. Of course, it began the scoring parade for Kansas City with their 4-0 victory against SDFC Panthera from Montclair, New Jersey. What happened to begin the game is scoring was first established not by Newsom, but by her teammate, and that was Haley Clanky with her second goal of the tournament. First of the game made it 4-0, but then 3 straight Newsom goals. One on a header off a corner kick from Autumn Ferguson, the Missouri-Kansas City commit, University of Missouri-Kansas City commit, Ferguson is. And then Newsom was also able to score on a breakaway, and then it was 3-0 at halftime. Then late in the second half, Newsom was able to score on a penalty kick. She was brought down by the outstanding striker Megan Mancini of SDFC Panthera. And there you have it, a 4-0 victory for FCKC. In this tournament, the Pink Panthers are undefeated. They tied the LA Galaxy in their first game. This 4-0 victory gives them a 1-0-1 record. Meanwhile, SDFC Panthera from Montclair, New Jersey is 1-1 on the campaign. The winning goalie today with a shutout, Afton Fenewald, who played a very fine game, didn't see any shots in the first half, but was quite talented, I think, in sort of playing and really covering up a lot of balls. Riley Keenan was the goalie, who I guess would be called the losing goalie of the game, who she started the first half, and then Victoria Wozniak came in the second half, and she allowed the penalty kick goal, although that's always tough to say. I mean, allowing a penalty kick goal, that's a bit unfair there. So 4-0 is the score that the Pink Panthers win it by here from Wilson, North Carolina. So, folks, I'm Marky Bilson. Thanks for listening and watching the Turbo Sports Network.